Chapter 4. A Twilight in Time. Warning. This chapter is a little dark as it leans towards necromancy. No, Pony. Not even Veronica knew that a time fixer had just messed with timelines to try and turn a possible heroic ally against her group by showing a hero a delicate, forgotten memory from her past involving a villain from long ago that has something to do with her horn herding and her magical aura turning dark all of a sudden on the exact day her niece was born, all happening in the Crystal Empire of all places. Princess Twilight had just learned her cousin had moved in with Queen Chrysalis when Princess Celestia started becoming very distant from her in her magic lessons, and her family was refusing to talk to her about her birth, and every time they did, they would either avoid eye contact or make up an excuse. The only one who seemed to have her back right now are her friends, her new cousin Spike, her own brother, who still counts as family, as well as Princess Cadence, who had zero idea what was going on with the other royals. Her horn, meanwhile, was growing and now changing shape, not to mention her magic aura is now darker than ever, but for some reason it wasn't affecting her personality at all. Princess Twilight told Spike about what she found in the strange room, and Spike said, while agreeing to watch her being unable to convince her not to summon the ghost of King Sombra behind everyone's back.
Twilight, are you sure about this? I mean, he's evil and he tried to kill you.
They were currently in the basement of Princess Twilight's castle while her friend and protege Starlight Glimmer were all too busy to notice something like this, and it's a good thing, too. What they were about to do might ruin their lives. I know that's what it appeared, but all he tried to do was keep me from getting to the Crystal Heart. But I think there's more to this, and I need to know, said Princess Twilight, who had just finished preparing a circle for the spell with the right ingredients to keep it under control.
And
it is just a spirit summoning spell, so we're not bringing him back to life or anything because necromancy is super risky.
And this isn't fine, but I wish you all the I'm with you all the way. But if this goes south, I'm getting the princesses involved,
said Spike before getting ready. Princess Twilight began casting the spell as she said, King Sombra, I summon you from beyond the cold grave. Nothing happened, so Princess Twilight looked over the spell scroll to see if she missed a step and realized there was a part on the back. The spell won't work with a circle and words alone. You must put something that belongs to the spirit in the circle to summon it after saying the words. You've got to be kidding me. Princess Twilight pulled out an old cloak that, according to the stories, was the cloak King Sombra wore when he was alive and king of the Crystal Empire, which immediately summoned him with it wrapped around his neck. But he was between dark magic ghosts and pony form in spirit form.
What? Who dares? You,
demands King Sombra before spotting the nervous Princess Twilight keeping to the shadows.
You summoned me from beyond the grave to gloat or something? This is so unlike the heroic princesses. Oh wait, it isn't you who saved the day. This time it was the baby little dragon.
I didn't summon you for no such thing. I want to talk to you, said Princess Twilight, who stepped out of the shadows and surprised King Sombra in how her horn was starting to look like his. I saw that. You know what's happening to me, don't you? How did you corrupt me with your evil magic? And who was that mare?
It can't be. I had enough to do with it, and yet all of it.
Said King Sombra, who seemed to be now looking at her with a less villainous look, but with the look of somebody who is about to reclaim something they lost that meant the world to him.
And don't give magic labels like that. Magic is neither good or evil. Sure, it gets judged for that because of certain spells, but only the ones who wield it are the ones who can decide good or evil.
Like you? Quit it with the riddles, demanded Princess Twilight, who was very serious. I found that room of yours when returning to the basement beneath the throne and saw something that is supposed to be a part of the answer to what is happening to my horn and my magic. But all I've got is more questions out of it.
So you saw it, right? That day?
Asked King Sombra, who was there, and there was a moment of silence before she nodded.
Okay, I'll tell you everything. I didn't know whether or not it was you with the dragon that day, but I should have suspected it. It's rare for any pony to break my my kinds of magic I put on that door, and it was super powerful. It wasn't the one I used to enslave the kingdom, as every pony thinks I did.
Okay. So what was the kind of magic you used on that door, and how come I could break the spell? Asked Princess Twilight, who just figured out she was getting closer to her answer.
Blood magic. It's the one of the most ancient of all,
said King Sombra before Princess Twilight turned away and began trying to guess what blood magic implies.
Oh, it's something not even the royal sisters could think of. And it's the most simple answer that is related to why you could break the spell and make the stairs appear when you did. Why your horn is reshaping right now. And why I knew your mother, your real mother.
Princess Twilight slowly turned with just her head to face King Sombra as Spike kept ready to bolt the moment this gets bad. Tell me.
What? Blood? Where am I? Blood magic spells can only be broken if the person who breaks them is related to the one who cast the spell. I'm your real father,
said King Sombra, who took them both by surprise. What? No, it can't be true. You're evil, said Princess Twilight, in confusion and denial at the very idea. You're lying. Villains lie all the time to get their way with others.
Maybe, but not this time, for what I'm telling you is nothing compared but the truth,
said King Sombra before looking a little curious.
Tell me, has everything been all right with the royal sisters? Is everything the same and dandy?
They've been treating me differently ever since the changes, said Princess Twilight, who turned to look at the scroll and then to him. Would you tell me everything you know about these changes? Why is this happening? And why was I sent away if I'm really your daughter?
Maybe I will, but what's in it for me? Right now, you only see me as a villain, not a parent,
said King Sombra, who was hoping to use her curious side to his advantage. Princess Twilight was searching for some kind of deal that wouldn't be bringing him back to life, as she still didn't believe him.
Here, I'll agree to tell you everything, and I know about what I know about your birth mother and your relations to the Crystal Empire and what's happening to you in return for bringing me back to life. But I also want you to give me a chance to prove myself.
How do I know you're not trying to trick me? Asked Princess Twilight, who was suddenly even more suspicious of him.
Bring your horn and one hoof into the circle,
said King Sombra, but he could see Princess Twilight wasn't going to do anything he demanded without good reason.
Look, I'm a spectral image of my former self, so I can't use magic, but you can. There's a spell that prevents treachery or deceit while making while under a deal or contract. It's called an unbreakable vow. It's totally safe, and if not, you can just break the circle and I'll be gone in a flash. I'm guessing there's a catch. There's always a catch,
said Spike before shutting up when Princess Twilight glared at him.
All right, that part. Well, if either party breaks the terms of the vow that made in any act, that the party will die instantly. Well, in my case, I can't be summoned ever again, so no comebacks for me,
said King Sombra, hoping she'd go for it.
Come on, what will it take to earn a little bit of her trust? Maybe playing it with her morale code will help in earning some points with my daughter.
Spike, he's telling the truth about the spell. He can't use any magic to ruin a spell I cast while he's like it. So okay, I'll do it, said Princess Twilight before making the unbreakable vow with him. And in return, I'll bring you back to life if I'm pleased with the results.
And done,
said King Sombra before a magic band appeared around Princess Twilight's left forehoof, which made her glare at him.
I had nothing to do with that. This man is part of the vow. Since I'm not alive, this will allow you to summon me without the circle, but I suggest you keep this between us for now, and that little Spike.
Interrupted Spike all of a sudden, and they turned to look at him.
My name is Spike. Forgive me, Spike. And see you too soon,
said King Sombra before vanishing into thin air as a gust of wind ruined the summoning circle.
Well, this is a lot to take in. Are you okay, Twy?
Asked Spike, who was wondering something. Spike, I think he was telling the truth about me being his daughter, but I just didn't want to believe him. I don't know what to believe right now, said Princess Twilight before dropping the subject of the matter. To be continued.